Hey, what's going on? Luke here. For today's video, we're going to be giving my predictions for 2023. In particular, going to be giving my predictions for the NRL Premiers. Now, I thought I'd do this super far out in advance. I thought it'd be quite an interesting video just to look sort of even before the season starts, but go from 2022 all the way up until the season starts and see if I change my opinion on who's actually going to win the premiership. Now, this isn't something that I've been sitting here and thinking about and going, oh geez, like I wonder if Penrith are going to win it, or oh man, can the Bulldogs do all right? Will the Roosters be good? This isn't something that I've been thinking about a lot. It's just, I thought I'd just, roll the camera and just see where we go and see where the video takes us. So immediately my first thoughts are for the Roosters. They've signed Brandon Smith. They've lost Sam Verrills, but they haven't really lost too many players. I think Takiaho and Semi Verrills might be the only ones. Joey Manu's come off a fantastic World Cup. He's been looking really, really good. Been playing fullback, but it just shows his versatility. Shows a lot of versatility with a lot of the Roosters guys. Suaalii has been absolutely fantastic. Another year under his belt. A first year under his belt, but he's already in contention to play for New South Wales in Australia, and literally his first season. So, got another year for him. Semi Walker, another year for him. Luke Keary, building their combination. And like I said, the head cheese, Brandon Smith, coming into the system. Now, I think a lot of it does revolve around whether Brandon Smith does gel with this side, whether he fits in or not. At the Storm, he's always been there. He's always been at the Storm. So, be interesting to see how he goes under a new coach. Now, he did the interview with the YKTR Sports, and he talked about how he can't wait to win a premiership and do this and that and do all this sort of stuff. Trent Robinson and play for him and run through a brick wall and all that sort of stuff. I guess it shows the effect Trent Robinson has on a lot of these players, but it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to go and do it. So we'll see how it goes. He's been in trouble a few times at Melbourne, and Melbourne seem to keep a quiet lid on everything that happens in Melbourne. So the fact that it's come out a few times that he's been the one to get in trouble, I think it's sort of, could be a little bit worrying for the Roosters, but if there's any club that can hide anything from the media, it's the Sydney Roosters. So we'll see how he goes. But in terms of just like a team on paper, that side, to me, looks like the best team on paper. There's no real weaknesses. The backline is fantastic. Four-pack's fantastic. The spine is unbelievable. Tedesco, Keary, Walker, and then Brandon Smith. Even like on the bench, you got a guy like Connor Watson who can come on. Like Brandon Smith's biggest thing is, he's been playing, I'm not going to say second fiddle, but he played as the starting hooker the year Harry Grant wasn't there. Got Dally M player of the year in terms of the hooker position. And then as soon as Harry Grant came back, Harry Grant kind of was the main guy. Brandon Smith was still the versatile guy. We can just play him at prop. We can play him at lock. We can do whatever. Whereas that's Connor Watson for the Roosters. So Brandon Smith is going to be your first choice. And then Connor Watson can come on. If Brandon Smith doesn't have to play the full 80. So Connor Watson can come on and do a job. So my first instinct is to say the Roosters are probably going to be the ones to win the premiership. However, I did say that last year. I thought Penrith were going to drop off last year and that the Roosters would come good. Roosters just spent the whole year trying to keep the same team on the park, trying to gel, and they just never seem to gel, never seem to get going. So, I don't know, maybe that could be another year for the Roosters. I mean, all the talk of them being super successful, and they haven't really been that successful as of late. Like, you actually go through and look at their results, they haven't really been that good. They haven't really been that close to even making the grand final, apart from when they actually did win the grand final back-to-back. So, I think Penrith have been on a whole other level. Storm are always going to be up there, but the Storm losing a lot of players. So, for me, like normally I would talk about the Storm being a premiership threat, and it just doesn't feel like that this year. Brandon Smith gone, the Bromwich boys gone, Felice Kafusi is gone. I'm probably missing some other players too, but Pappenhausen injured again last year, very, very injury prone. Cameron Munster's still there, Jerome Hughes still there, Harry Grant's still there, but I feel like a lot of question marks over Pappenhausen. Is he gonna come back better than ever? Is he gonna actually be the same player? We'll have to wait and see what happens with Ryan Pappenhausen, but I think you don't want to put a line through the Storm, but that's a lot of players to lose in one season. And for me, I feel like Parramatta's another one. A couple sides that maybe their premiership window has just closed a little bit. I mean, I think the Storm are going to rebound a lot quicker and a lot better than the Eels, but there's another couple sides that I feel like are going to be a little bit off the money this year. The Rabbitohs, I think, can be a chance. I think they're a chance big time. I don't know about winning the premiership, but this is probably the last season we might see some of these guys running around. Your Damien Cooks, your Cody Walkers, at least at the pinnacle of their career. Latrell was very, very good when he came back for them. Definitely changed their side. When they play with and without Latrell, it's night and day. So I feel like Latrell for the Rabbitohs, as long as he's on the park, they can be anything. And plus, they've got a lot of other good players too, like your Campbell Grahams and such. A lot of good players to work with, and I don't really think they've lost anyone of note that I can think of. Like I kind of touched on, like the Bulldogs have signed a lot of good players, Tigers signed a lot of good players, but we have to wait and see how they sort of go. Broncos have a very, very good side on paper. The backline the Broncos have, I think, is going to be somewhat underrated. Like, I feel like they're not a side that we look at and we go, what a backline. And maybe that's because of the halves. I mean, Adam Reynolds is there, but there's always been question marks on who the 5'8" is going to be. But Reece Walsh joins them. You've got Selwyn Cobbo and Corey Oates, current and former Origin players. And then you got the centres of Farnworth and Katoni Staggs, 2 rep centres. That's a very, very good backline. They could be very good, especially at times last year, though, in the top 4, and they had the big dramatic downfall. Payne Haas is still there. Carrigan's still there. We've got a lot of good players at the Broncos. Just thinking of other sides. Cowboys are obviously going to be there again. I think they're going to be very, very strong. Probably, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see whether they're going to be as good or teams... Like last year, I feel like they took a lot of teams by surprise, and then they just had so much confidence that they just kept going with it. So, be interesting to see if this year, you guys like Nanai, are they going to have like a second-year syndrome? Because it does happen to a lot of players. And, Nanai, like a lot of these guys, this is going to be their second year as like a quality NRL player, rather than guys who have played maybe here or there, or even making their debut. So, your Chatty Townsend and such, we'll see how they go next year. So I don't really want to come out here and say, Cowboys win the premiership, but they were very, very good last year, and I can't really give a reason as to why they can't be as good next year. So they're definitely going to be right up there. Sharkies are another one, kind of the same boat. Very, very good last year. Don't really have a reason as to why they can't be as good next year because, they haven't really lost anybody. Can't really think of anybody they signed either, but haven't really lost anyone, haven't really signed anybody. Should be a little bit better, a little bit more cohesion, you would think. More experience for Fitzgibbon as a coach, more experience for the side, Nico Hines, Dalian for him in his first proper season as like a starter rather than filling in. So great stuff for him. But there's so many teams who could win it. Yeah, I still keep looking at Penrith and just going, man, they've lost a lot of players. But last year I thought they were going to drop off. They didn't. Year before I thought maybe they're going to choke a little bit and drop off. They didn't. They went back to back. Can they do a three-peat? Probably not. I'm going to go with the Roosters. I'm going to just safe bet. I'm going to go with the Roosters. I'm probably missing someone. Off the top of my head, though, I can't really think of any big ones. I mean, Manly, Trebojevic went down injured today, so he's there. But I've already touched on Rabbitohs. Roosters. I think Roosters are the ones who are going to win it. I think Roosters, Penrith are the 2 big dogs with your Sharks there as well. And I think some sides like Cowboys and that, I think they'll be in amongst it. But I mean, I feel like the Cowboys storm all them. I think they'll just be like the next level down. I think the Roosters, this will be the year that they finally hit back. Brandon Smith come, and I think it's going to be a big, big signing for them, as well as retaining the other guys that they've retained as well. So, that's my early season prediction for 2023. Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts of 2023? Who's going to be the Premiers? Who's going to pick up the minor Premiers? Even if you want to give some other predictions as well, if you want to do your top try scorers and such, go ahead and do that. I'm going to save that for a later date in 2023. But this is my early 2022 predictions for 2023. Guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to use the notification bell. Don't rely on the sub boxes. Use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos. Also, go ahead and chat me and follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT for the most part. My Facebook's Mr. Luke, but everything else, as you can see on the screen right now, it's Mr. Luke and YT. Give me a follow, give me an ad. And that's where I'm going to wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content on the channel. I'm going to be trying to produce some more videos over the Christmas period. So we'll see how we go with that one. But guys, have a happy holidays. Have a good Christmas. And I'll see you for the next one. See yous.